So we've just made 2D of our desk and table here, and you'll see, same as last time, it's thrown that drawing down onto the world view C-plane top view down there. So what I'm going to do is just say edit, select objects, curves, IH again, inverse hide, VT, view top, and so that's the image there, our 2D lines on the right layers, you can see. So on the screws are on the screw layer, the timber's on the timber layer, and the pliers on the plier layer. So what that means is when we go to export this line work to Illustrator, we'll be able to use the line weight tools in Illustrator, and we can separate out these layers and give them different treatments to make our drawing look more realistic with line weights. So I'll just show you quickly now how to set a new C-plane. So we talked about construction planes last week. Basically, they're the imaginary piece of paper which your drawing is flush to. So oftentimes we'll need to create a new C-plane because the default C-plane is in the world view, but oftentimes your geometry might not be that way. So I'm just going to demonstrate that by rotating our table and chair 45 degrees. And so what you see now is if we go back to our world viewport system, to our viewport layout, you'll see that the front view and the right view are now sort of oblique or off to an angle like this, and so what we actually want is an orthogonal view to the front of this table. So the way we'll do that is by setting up a new construction plane or C-plane. So we'll just do that in here. Now what I'm doing here is I'm just holding down Shift and Control to spin around. You don't have to do that though, you can keep drawing at top. So what we're going to do is start by drawing a plane or a rectangle that is going to become our construction plane, or what we want to be seeing things perpendicular to. So I'll start, I just turned on project there, and I'm just going to draw from on the outside here our plane, and then in this front view just click there. So what we've got now is a rectangle, you can see here, which is exactly in line with the front of our desk, and that's the way that we're going to align our view so that we're looking again orthogonally to that table. So select, go to view, set C-plane, and now what we're going to do is we're going to set the C-plane to an object. So select to object, and now it will ask you for the object to orient the C-plane to. Select our purple square there, and now I've done that in the front view. So when I go up here to set view to these C-plane buttons here, they look like a C-plane, pretty funny. Now if I click on those, what we're going to do is we're going to align our view to that C-plane. So you'll see what's happened there, where before we were on an angle, now we're back aligned to that front view, and so all of these views now here will bring this view to be in alignment with that new C-plane that we drew. Now if you want to go back to the world view or the world C-plane, which is this one here, the car is those ones. So if I click back onto top view or front view, that'll bring us back to what we had before. I'll just go through that again. So one of the ways that we can do a C-plane is what we just did, which was drawing an object. The other thing we can do is, if you go to view, set C-plane, there's a whole lot of options here. The other one that I want to show you is this 3-point one. So similar to what we just did before, but this time we're selecting the points manually. So make sure you're selecting points that are orthogonal to that view. And there we go. So you'll see what happened there is that thing there, which is our representative of our C-plane, that jumped up to be in line with the front of our desk. And again, if we use these C-plane icons up here, change our projection method to parallel, you'll see what's happening here. We're back in line with our view. So we can use these buttons for that. And again, if we want to restore the seaplane to the world, just use the car buttons, and I'll click that back to perspective there. Now, the other way that this might be useful for you is if you want to do, for instance, a cutting sheet for different objects in your model that are on different angles. So, for instance, if I take this surface here and I want to find out what how it needs to be cut out of a flat piece of plywood, we need to have an outline of that that is perpendicular to our C-plane. So what I'm going to do is, again, view, set C-plane, and I'm going to do 3 points this time. So I've got one there, and one there. And you'll see now our C-plane is perpendicular to that. Show a plan view, parallel projection, plan view of our object. I'm just going to IH again, inverse hide, make 2D of that. Okay, and I'm going to group that together because you'll see what happens when I do the next one. So that one's been cut out now. The next one I want to cut out is this one here. So again, view, set C-plane to object. Let's see if that worked. No. So when you're doing a set to an object, it needs to be a flat plane. Now let's try that. Okay. So we have oriented our view now to this C-plane here. So I'll just hide that and go back to plan. Now you'll see we're perfectly flat with that object there, which previously you saw was on an angle in our model. So again, make 2D. Okay, and it's throwing it, Control G, it throws it always back in the top view, the world top view at 0, 0, so a coordinate 0, 0. So if we unlock that now and go to the top view and go Edit, Select Objects, Curves, IH for inverse hide, you'll see I've started to build up a cutting sheet of the different objects. Now I've just had to move the first one that we did away so that they're not overlapping, but you'll see we can start building up quite quickly a cutting sheet of all the different objects in our model, irrespective of what orientation they are in the model. So what we're doing is we're setting a C-plane perpendicular to that face, and then setting our view perpendicular to that C-plane, and then making 2D to get our cutouts. So that's the way to go for using Make 2D to make a cutting sheet. The last thing I'll just show you is once you've made 2D of these things and you want to print to scale, you need to we can either export this geometry or we can print this out to scale. So if I export this, so export selected, you'll see we can choose different file types. So let's just choose we can choose Illustrator or DWG, and we can just give it a name and save it there. The thing with that though is that will come out at 1:1. So if I just do a quick measure here, you'll see that my cutting piece there is 500mm long. If I want to fit that onto a page, that may not fit. So to print these things to scale, what we do is go File, Print, and then you'll need to choose a PDF version. You might have Adobe PDF, or you might have a Qt PDF writer or something. So use the PDF option there. choose your paper size and your orientation, etc. Now make sure you have vector output selected, because that's going to give us line work rather than just pixels that we can use in Illustrator. And then go down here and choose our scale. So 1 to 10, we can probably even go 1 to 5, and you'll see that that's going to print it out at 1 to 5 on our piece of paper there. And when you hit print, you'll save that as a PDF and you can open that in Illustrator, and that'll be the right scale there.